Um, his
Word.
two other big songs, Ayo for Yayo.
Ayo for
Ayo for
Rayo.
yayo, all up in my nasal. Man, I must have been
So is he
crazy.
saying he's an a-hole for a yayo?
Ayo for yayo. It's like all a song about cocaine and the dangers of cocaine. And then it's his answer to White Lines. And then there's also Conversations
Lines,
with the
but
Devil.
way more
That
hardcore.
shit's hard though. That's like my name is Nikki, but you could call me Dre. And when I'm in LA, I like to party all day. So that beat's crazy too.
Test your headphones.
Oh, test the headphone?
Yeah.
Yeah, put on Conversations with the Devil, bro. That's that one.
Well, now we're live.
Oh, now we're live. Oh, sorry. All right, well.
We were talking about...
You guys been working together for a while, huh? Yeah, I know each other.
Rich was my first guest on Blur Radio.
Oh, nice. Right.
That wasn't the World Series show, was it?
It was.
So this
I distinctly remember you saying, like, you know, me and Steve are from Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Jones is from Chicago. And it was Cleveland versus Chicago. And Rich said, listen, if we got to throw hands, we can throw hands. And I was like, Rich, but we can throw hands. we might have to over this one. Cleveland did not win. Cleveland has won one championship my entire life.
All I said was, regardless of who wins, just don't be an asshole about it. And everyone, I mean, as the victor, I hope that I was not overly ebullient.
No, I don't think you were ebullient.
Well, it was just also epic though, because that was the first time that I'd obviously seen the Cubs win a World Series. Mm-hmm. But then conversely, that was also the first time that I'd won a game of Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. It was a day of many firsts because we played the game. And I think we played like a 3-inning game and I won. I mean, look, and then I saw a brutal car accident on the way home. And I'm like, all right, well, at least they saw the World Series before they had this car accident. But yeah,
shout out to Ken Griffey Jr. You want to hear a fun fact? Nintendo owns the Marlins.
They own the Mariners.
The Mariners, fuck whoever it is.
Yeah, I was about to be like, that is
they own
that.
One of these things. I didn't know that Nintendo owned any sports.
Yeah, it's a big partnership. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, if the Marlins were owned by Nintendo, they'd be a way doper team.
The Marlins.
You know what, man? We need to reboot Sega. Just get Sega to buy the Marlins.
Sega's they're trying to reboot.
Are they Dreamcast 2?
When I say trying to reboot, they're trying to make new games.
So no console.
Yeah, they said like we're out of the console.
But I
remember the golden years when it was like Sega versus Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I was Nintendo
like
all day.
Half a decade. You know.
I feel like people who were into Nintendo got into PlayStation, and people that were in the Genesis got into Xbox. Like
it did kind of. The beef didn't really.
The rift just kept growing.
And I just got airdropped a PS1 when I was 11 years old to borrow, and I just never gave that shit back. Not in a mean way though. It was my godfather who's like, yo, you can borrow it, and then he just never asked for it back because I think that was his way of like. That was just his way of being like, right, his parents were not going to give him this thing. Yeah, which is true. They weren't.
My father bought me a PlayStation. I couldn't play it for a year. My mother told me, and here's some insight into the type of student that I was. When you get your grades up, you can play that PlayStation. A year later, she was like, just play the book. just going.
She just gave up on trying to.
And you turned out great. So those grades really didn't. Yeah, I think about all the anxiety I had around stuff like that, and it's one of those things where like, man, it's good that I don't have to feel stressed about that anymore. The relief I felt the very first Sunday where I didn't have something to do on a Monday in 2010, that was a different feeling. That was a sort of freedom. Now, granted, it was a painful one too because it was that Bears game where like that old ass quarterback, like Todd something or other, like came like 40 million years old, and I think he threw for like 12 yards. It was against the Panthers. It was Todd Collins or something.
What year was this?
2010, man. Okay. I was working Bears games in 2010 or 2011. I was working Bears games, and it was away game. So every Sunday I was having to work, and then the first away game, I didn't have to work. So I'm just sitting on my parents' couch, like, wow, why do I feel so calm? I'm like, because this is the first time, and like. I don't know, almost 20 years where Monday is just a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that mind blowing, game changer.
Nice.
Monday's my favorite day of the week.
Nice. Garfield disagrees.
Hey man, me and Garfield hang out on Tuesdays. I bring him lasagna. He gives me a little back scratch with his nails. Meow. And Odie sleeps at my feet.
I'm sure Garfield will push me. My name is Mike Stidham. I don't have a name for this game or this show, but it is a hip hop card show. This is the first iteration. I'm here with Mike Messia.
What up, everybody?
I'm here with Rich Jones.
Hey.
Mike Messia and Rich Jones, in whatever order you all decide, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you represent.
My name is Rich Jones. I'm from the northwest side of Chicago. I'm an MC, vocalist, promoter, and overall enthusiast for things that are tasty and bring people together. I really am focused on gratitude and making sure that we're creating spaces where that's at the forefront of what we're doing, and making sure that we're caring for each other and looking out for each other's best interests and health. And, also having a fun time while doing that, because those things don't have to be non-mutually exclusive.
Nice. I'm Mike Messia, hip-hop MC, born and raised Southside Chicago, but all over town all the time. I represent a crew of Chicago Outfitters. We've opened lots of shows for major label artists to regular locals, and we love supporting the whole hip-hop scene. I'm also the fine arts, hip-hop spoken word teacher for Common Ground Foundation, so I do help a lot of Chicago area teens get in the studio and just kind of develop that creative energy. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so I'm also a realtor in Chicago as well. So I do help, with that aspect as well. So happy to be here.
You know Elgin Smith?
Elgin Smith?
DJ L.O. Curry?
Sounds familiar, but I hate saying I know that word. And,
When he said Common Ground, I'm pretty sure he worked for Common Ground.
Probably. It's a lot of good MCs. Like Ad 2 was the last main MC that was
he DJ for Ad 2.
Is there
that makes sense.
Is there an Ad 2 card in the deck?
Did we get the Chicago MCs in the deck?
There's some Chicago MCs. For sure. Right now.
That's gonna be one of the biggest comments probably in the comment section of the
Hey Nick.
what are Chicago MCs at? What did everybody?
Oh, I got a Chicago MC in my
did we? Are we playing the first game right now?
3 Chicago.
Yeah, let's have a.
Let me check out my hand.
So, folks, the way that this game works is I made 300 cards featuring rap collectives, small rap groups, rap duos, rap trios, beat makers, labels, rappers. I have 300 cards. Currently, I have 300 more cards coming next week. The point is to curate hip hop conversations from people who were there to listen to this hip hop. Hip hop is a significant part of history. Hip hop is American history, African American history, Afro-Cuban history, Afro-Caribbean history, all wrapped up in one nice little niche. And I feel like that's a story that needs to be told. So we're here to tell it.
Can I make a suggestion for the game?
Yes.
I think if there's an artist that a player hasn't heard before,
they lose points.
Well, sure, but also I think it's a moment to potentially maybe play their best known song, and then as part of it's not so much of you lose a point, but then it's like now let's listen to this song by so and so. Just looking at my hand, there's an artist that I really don't. I know the name and I know a little bit of the reputation, but I've never listened to them before, and I think that'd be a cool little learning element. A teachable moment.
So here's the thing.
Right. So here's the thing.
You will get muted for that part.
Let's not
get 3 strikes and then we're off.
Okay. So that's not going to happen, and we're just after the we're just going to have well. Here's something you could do. You could make a playlist of all the music that people didn't know. In each episode, it could be 3 songs.
Yep.
It could be 22 songs.
Well,
it could be 21.
Or another player could just say, hey, you haven't heard the artist, reference this, and then anybody who's checking us out online can always go and do their homework. And then
exactly.
because I mean the same thing will happen with a producer, right? Like if I got a producer in mind, you haven't heard the production before. Yeah, and you'd be like, oh well, no, they made this track for guess who? You'd be like, oh my god, I didn't know this producer made that.
There we go.
Especially with producers.
All right. Educational platform. So, also, I want to say on every single episode that I do that this concept came from Kenyatta Forbes, who made this game called Trading Rappers. He stopped selling it in about 2017. Where's the camera? But it is the greatest card game ever made. I just took this concept. This is 54 cards. I have 600 cards.
So there.
Respect to Kenyatta Forbes for putting this idea out there for me to grow. The game goes, we each have 7 cards since there are only 3 of us.
I don't. Oh wait, I'm lacking 2 cards.
There you go.
That's great.
You throw out your best card. The current iteration of the game basically goes like spades, except nothing has inherent value. I thought about making poker rules. Throw out a bunch of 5 beat makers for the river. Who would go best over this guy, this guy, this guy, this lady, this day. But tonight we're going to play the spades version. So,
now,
what's up?
What if we get into a heated, violent argument about who's the most popular one? Like, if it gets, do we pull up the stat of like, hey, this person had the more?
We each grab a Chinese.
Like, what if it's razor close like that between artists that, like, let's say you have a whack MC or what? I don't know, a whack bar. I got like top tier, you got top tier. We're like, oh my god! And then we're like, do we debate it out?
We debate it out.
And then if people really feel aggrieved. If we have any Chinese pastries yet, you just beat each other with them until they're in which whoever breaks the pastry first loses.
The reason,
so does your rapper.
The reason I like, and this is a great concept, and the reason I bring that up is because it's always barbershop talk about who's the top five, who's your top 10. So this was like literally right up that lane.
Absolutely.
And everybody's list, I know mine always changes. I do.
Over.
Get this question a lot, just as an MC and as a fan of the art.
So Mike Messia, who's your top 5?
Well, I never thought you'd ask. I mean, it changes, man. Honestly, I'm not even saying that to appease anybody or not give a direct answer, because honestly, month over month, and depending on what mood I'm in when I get in the car.
And Mike Messia, who's your top 5 right now?
Okay. You know, it's funny to have Kendrick and Drake be in that conversation right now. But I would say they're both in there only because of the consistency of what happened over the last year with that battle.
For sure.
I think they both peaked. I saw Drake kind of get in there and get some battle bars out there, which I thought he could.
He was trying to battle a lot.
Yeah, he was. He was. I'd still say he lost, so he wouldn't be over.
Oh yeah, no. I have one friend that thinks that Drake won.
You do? Everybody, I think.
And are they from Canada?
They're not from Canada. They're from Cleveland. I don't understand.
I mean, that's pretty close to Canada.
It is right across the
I'm just saying. You sure they're not Canadian? You sure they didn't? You sure they didn't come across Lake Erie on a raft?
Shout out to Joe Hannon.
Joe Hannon, the Canadian,
getting his acting career together
in
New York. The only Drake defender. But continue.
Well, no, I definitely got a Nas in there.
Okay,
for sure.
Favorite Nas on.
Oh, I got to go with it was written when I
least favorite Nas.
That's what was the one after Magic? I know. That's trash. I know. Right? Let's go back. What did he
Nostradamus.
No, Nostradamus. Yeah, Nostradamus.
I absolutely hate. I really have never got back on the Nas bandwagon.
Ever since he kind of lost some momentum from just slowing down and putting out stuff, but his new material.
Who brought him back? Jay-Z punched him in the nose. I guess I have been putting my guard down.
Yeah.
Let me get this back together.
It's true. I got like it's crazy because I always go between different Wu-Tang members, but you know, like Jizza to me is just like lyrically.
I almost wore my Jizza shirt.
Oh, almost with it. Yeah, Jizza is just it's something about the way he put those bars together. It's not like it's gonna be the most you can sing along to it. It's not even about this what the man is thinking.
For sure.
You know, kind of for me.
Yeah.
And then I always waffle between like a lot of Chicago MCs, man. I mean, I got like for me, I have to go ahead and throw Twista and somebody like that in the conversation.
He's super.
The reason why Twista can always be in an argument, when you see him performing, how fast he's saying those bars and the pronunciation.
And they're good bars. Like Busta Rhymes will just say words. Twista actually puts great bars together and says them faster than you can understand.
And people always debate like who was the fastest, is it Buster or Twista? I mean,
only one of them's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Twista.
And also, I will say this: not saying that it's a low calorie listen, because it's not.
Okay.
I do think it's hilarious that at least between 1 to 17 times on any given mixtape or album, he will say, "And I hit it from the back."
Yeah,
like I'm just saying, I've listened to a lot of mixtape Twista in my day. I'm just, if it came down to the Twista Sutra, he's hitting it from the back.
He will get that too short bar in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we get to Chicago MCs, man, we got a bunch of them. That Common, you know. But I mean that, you know, that's the shortest for my 5 hour, like kind of like right down the moment. Yep.
Rich.
My top 5: Edon, Charisma, Convertible Ashley, formerly known as David Ashley, Sketch 185, and then it's the 5th one. This is tough. This is where things get treacherous. I would say, with very, very little hesitation, if in fact none, JUS from Detroit. Those are my top 5 right now.
I heard Edon, Charisma
with a Z.
Where's Charisma?
I believe San Jose. He was with Peanut Butter Wolf. They were a duo, and they put his album out posthumously because he died early. Unfortunately, rest in peace. Really, really fun. I feel like a guy like him. Oh man, I'm a jerk. Ooh, I need a 6 man. It's not even a 6. It's not even a 6 pick. Somebody sitting on the bench. Guru. That was. I messed that one up. Yeah.
Who's getting knocked off the list for Guru?
Strictly by virtue, because I know he's gonna knock somebody else off this list sometime in the next year to 10. I would say David Ashley is the 6th man. Convertible Ashley is the 6th man, but he's made probably my favorite project that nobody really knows or talks about in Chicago. It's a SoundCloud exclusive playlist that he updates at will, or just kind of whenever he feels like it's going to happen a bunch, or you get a couple new things a year. But it's called Strictly for the Heads. It's one of my favorite things to just throw on and listen to, because it's mostly just bars. There's not really any hooks. The production's really fun. You can tell he's just getting shit off. And there's a couple joints on there though where I don't know. Like I said, there's that whole thing, and then he's got this one single called Diesel that I've just as I'm starting to get my road show together. One thing I've been doing just to kind of give myself a second to get ready is I just been playing other people's stuff just to kind of get myself in the zone. And that song Diesel, without fail, every time I play it, it's like, what is this? It's the best rap song I've never heard. And yeah, so he's knocked on the bench only just because I know whatever he comes up with next, he's gonna kick someone else off. But I think he needs one more, and he's doing it. I know that.
Just to make sure, for you at home, anybody I don't have in the cards is going on the list. I'm a heart Edon, Charisma, JUS, David Ashley,
FK. Oh yeah, Convertible Ashley, FK, David Ashley. He changed his name to Convertible Ashley.
Nice.
Who's the 5th one?
Sketch 180, all caps on the letters, and then Guru is
Guru's.
Oh, Guru is definitely.
I'm gonna tell you something. I was not a fan.
I feel like we talked about this.
Passed. There's certain monotone rappers that I gravitate to. Guru just wasn't one of those people, and this is in the 90s where there's everybody there. So it's nothing against them per se. It's just that I never grabbed it. Shout out to DJ. Rest in peace, Guru.
Yes, rest in peace.
Fuck you, Solar.
What was Solar do?
That was his that was the dude that like took over the estate and shit and like broke up the whole partnership. And then with the new Gangstar album, they found that some of the verses had been used for other people's projects already. So like in the process of clearing all that, it was like a real rat's nest of organization or lack thereof. And it was just some real shady double dealing sort of situations. So if you're listening, metaphorically speaking, keep it illegal. I'm thinking about you.
There you go.
Thinking about you.
On the subject of people who put verses on multiple people's tracks, I will start off with Friday.
Oh.
Ooh.
My favorite Queens rapper.
Actually, yeah, I built a lot of my Mike Messiah style growing up off the product.
Yeah, period. Shout out to all the short kings. They said Prodigy was like 5'3" and would stare you in your face.
Yep.
Yeah.
I opened for him one time.
Yeah.
You definitely, yeah, it was crazy.
How tall is Lil Reese? He's 6 foot. I just know he looked me in the face rolling a blunt once when I was working a Sony event with Fabulous and Chance, and then I think Rocky Fresh or whatever, and I was walking up from the basement because I was a server, and I like nodded at him, and he looked at me. He's rolling the swisher in the bathroom. No emotion, just like burned a hole in me. I was like, all right, have a good one.
I have a similar story with Chance the Rapper, but he said hi.
There you go. Hey.
I'm gonna approach this like a true spades game and not throw my most, I think, significant card out. Not at Prodigy. I might have to go. Now you play spades, you kind of throw me.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no, I'm gonna have to go with
Action.
Action. Bronson.
You must have a good hand. Because I like that.
I got a crazy, not to be so cocky on the first episode, but I'm probably gonna kick Vocal ass. But
we gotta. So another thing that I'm working on, mind you, I don't play spades because I don't like violence. But a betting system, you know, how many books do you think you're gonna get? Yeah. If I played spades, I'd have one right now.
I have great shame about Action Bronson because I middlemaned him some mid over a decade ago, and I've never forgiven myself.
Is this when you was the beauty bar?
I think it was that week. Yeah, it was, or at least around that era. I thought I was doing a nice thing. I did a really bad thing. I've never been privy to an opportunity to really correct things, and it may never happen, and that's okay. I can live with myself. It was a great lesson though, because it's like, I just want to make sure I always have the best at all times.
For sure. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks. Thank you.
Rich, it's your go.
Okay. So here's my question. It's been a while since I played spades. Am I going high or low?
That's what I was talking about.
That depends on your hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you want to save your best, feel free.
Okay. I'm going to kick off with our rule suggestion from earlier.
Okay.
And I'm going to have this be my teachable moment.
Got it.
Keith Murray.
Oh,
you don't know any Keith Murray songs?
I played
the most beautifulest thing in this world, just like that.
Yeah, I vaguely I played with him or against him in Def Jam Vendetta like the first week of college, and I feel like I've heard things off and on or watched controversial footage of him on the internet in more recent years.
First of
he
all,
did a lot of drugs.
You know what's funny is that these two guys actually had a really interesting battle back in the day.
Learning moments.
Yep. So people can look that up. And these two guys, Prodigy and Keith, you remember that? They had a pretty.
Keith Murray also got into it with Tupac, like physically.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Keith Murray used to drink a lot, so he got into it with a lot.
Interesting. Very interesting. You should say that. Anyway,
a Keith Murray song. My favorite Keith Murray song is "Get Lifted." By far. I take that off of the radio when I'm
listening to my Legends
Two different songs. Two very different songs. Mike Messiah, what would you recommend for anybody who's never heard Keith Murray?
I would say the single I referred to, since we can't play it for
the most beautifulest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only because that was, I mean, it was commercially pushed. I know I'm kind of like, but it did capture his delivery a lot and capture his wordplay.
Ooh, you know another one? I Shot
You.
It's like on the I Shot You remix. There's an I Shot You that's just
There is I Shot You
LL and Keith Murray.
And Keith Murray. Keith did snap on that.
But the remix is everybody. That was Fat Joe showing people like, hey, listen, the Slow Joe stuff, out the way.
Mm-hmm.
You're kicking ass now. Who the fuck you think you talking?
Yep. So I think that this is an obvious who won this book, though.
Obviously.
I think so too.
So that's
It's
definitely gonna go to you, Mike. I guess you keep that book.
I thought I won because I created a teachable moment for people. No, I'm kidding. Mike won. Yeah, next round it's mine though. This round.
That's one book for me. That means I got
Beautifulness for capitalists.
When do we reload the deck? Is this
when all 7 are done?
All right.
Then we'll probably move on.
Oh.
I got duos and rap groups. We'll move on to Pharaoh Monch, who has been interviewed by the Fly Nerd Group several times.
First of all, Pharaoh, he just recently did a freestyle. I don't know if it was on Lemonade or. Hang on, let me focus here. What's just going on here?
Let me real quick. Keith Murray or Pharaoh Monch?
Pharaoh Monch by default, but I know more of his.
So I am more of a Pharaoh Monch.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and one up it with the Mr. Tip.
Q-Tip.
Q-Tip himself.
Called by Busta Rhymes the East Coast Dr. Dre because he put on so many people. Jay Dilla, Q-Tip. Busta Rhymes, Q-Tip. Who else we got? Consequence, for better or for worse? Q-Tip.
Oh yeah, Consequence.
Danny Brown, Q-Tip. Well, I didn't really put him on, but they did do a good album together.
Nice. Did I ever hear that? I remember hearing about that album. You hear so much shit nowadays. Shout out to Danny Brown.
All right. Well, I'm here to throw an interesting choice into the mix, especially given the current state of East Coast hip hop and gossip.
Good old Remy.
Remy Ma.
Good old Remy. When it comes to MCs, I don't think there are many.
I hate that word.
I didn't like saying that.
It's okay. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. We all.
When it comes to women in rap, not many can mess with Remy.
Yeah, Remy's hot.
Also,
and she broke up.
Listen,
well,
the thing, and this is I'm going to say on this show a lot. Rappers oftentimes are not good people. Remy Ma, not necessarily a good person.
Let's go even more macro. Artists in general are not necessarily good people.
No, that's not true now.
I said not necessarily, not all of them. Yeah. But I've met some real let's just say people in the music business.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Are not necessarily.
The same thing on the phone today. That's true. Like I've seen how the sausage is made. It's not. I don't want to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
I see dead people on the sausage.
I put the Remy Ma punchline about her dissing Papoose on the One of the Ones track, matter of fact. That we and you did.
Shout out to One of the Ones.
Yeah, it's on the new album.
What's the name of the new album?
The new album, Break Bread 3 is the dinner menu. So it's the third menu that I put out. Call my menu like EPs and albums like menus right now. So yeah, that's out on all platforms. Check it out. It just came out.
When you hear that beat, the One in the Ones.
Boom, made by yours truly. Yep. I'm looking forward to doing more in the studio, but I had that one punchline because it's been all over the rap world about how Papoose and her, how she get them. And so I just had to make a punchline out of it.
I forgot what I was watching. Was it My Expert Opinion? It was one of these hip hop podcasts. I say one of these hip hop podcasts. Where somebody said that, Papoose knocks people out of line. That's one of those stories about Papoose. He'll slap you unconscious. Met the guy that Remy is sleeping with, knocked him out. Then Remy hit him up saying like, "Oh man, nah, I gotta stay with him because I got to make sure
yeah.
that things are okay. It's like that's
some game right there. Bro. That's a good game. I think every hip hop podcast is talking about that when that story first came out.
So as far as what we got on the table,
I mean, I think it's unarguably.
I think it's
you can't say
it's cute.
It's
I'll take that.
just for a second. Now let me ask you this:
Huh?
Q-Tip or Fife?
Man, Fife was such a legend, man. Rest in peace. I tend to like you because my style, like my own delivery, I feel like it's kind of like the cat, like the not alto, but like I kind of like the smooth. I mean, I don't know, man. They both got they bar for bar both was animals.
I'm Fife all day.
You Fife all day? What about
like
yeah?
I like that. Rich. Also, you're not on camera.
Oh, he leaning
back.
I think it's on me to kick this off. I'm just gonna go ahead and just get a little aggressive with it. Grekiano. We were just talking about it.
I feel very ready.
You feel very ready?
Yeah, man. I got one of the dogs of war, the doggest of war right here. Bam.
50
Oh,
Drake versus 50 Cent.
Drake versus 50
versus Kanye.
Oh, yeah, this is
Drake.
I don't know how much
50,
time we got
Kanye
to have this.
Of the three of them, the only one who's trolling I actually appreciate is 50. And that podcast he did on the El Chapo twins was incredible.
I didn't see that.
We listened to it on the drive back from tour last year with the Omais. And
what stood out?
50
it's just you're hearing the whole story of the Flores brothers from Pilsen and how they built a cocaine empire in Chicago down to Mexico. It was really, really intense stuff. That was also the day that Trump got shot in Pennsylvania. That was a crazy day. Yeah, we're gonna put quotes on that. Where are the ear scars?
It grew
Show
back,
me the scar
that's all.
tissue.
Show me the scar. It grew back. Yeah.
One of the supporters donated their ear.
Remember the Band-Aid that he had was so huge.
It was a maxi pad.
Like it was like I'm like, is that a cast?
He put an oven mitt on his ear.
And then like 3 days later there was like no scar.
Nope.
Still
no.
Catch up.
This one is really tough.
So remember 50 and Kanye had that little sail off.
That was
one
really
of the smartest marketing plan.
That was the smartest marketing plan.
Yeah, at least 50 Cent never put on a Black Klansman hood or wore a swastika chain. I'm sorry.
Ooh, boy. Yeah, current Kanye.
I'll go there. I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck that.
I'm not. I actually have not been a fan of Kanye since 808s and Heartbreaks.
Okay,
I didn't quite understand that album. I didn't really like Jesus.
Oh no, I'm indifferent. Like I love a lot of the new material. Some of it I don't. It really depends. As far as like his personal life, I can't. I'm not here to kind of I stay out of that with the comments. But I mean, as far as the catalog is undeniable. Period. So I think there's almost a runoff between him and Drake, in my opinion. If 50 would probably win this book if he was still putting out music. The fact that he's doing, acting, doing more stuff, and I mean, he would definitely put out a platinum album easily. But as far as like who out of these three, it would have to be between Drake and Kanye to me.
50 hasn't been 50 doesn't really need to rap.
That's true. He doesn't even need to.
I think we're downplaying the vitamin pretty viciously.
400 million.
Yeah, the vitamin, that was a wise investment.
Yeah.
Wise investment.
But are we talking about investment? Are we talking about lyrical skill? Are we talking about overall catalog?
That's a question for you. It's his rules.
There are no rules. It's the fun part.
If we're looking at
until we figure it out.
Overall numbers and overall consistency, it definitely has to be between Drake and Kanye.
Yeah.
If it's like numbers, you gonna get some hip hop heads and like 10 million streams. It went. Like, you gonna get that. You're not gonna be able to have 50's vitamin water portfolio.
I will never give somebody streams over a physical album.
That's true.
Because you can farm streams.
That's true.
What was that documentary where you saw the cell phone farm? Just all the phones streaming everything at once.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's
When it comes to spins, Nori let that out of the bag on Drink Champs. He was like, you can have somebody in the middle of nowhere America just playing your song over and over and over again. You get the spins up. And when it comes to going to the store to buy physical copies of an album, that's the only sales metric that matters.
I agree.
But, and all that said, 50 Cent, because I have the least. Mind you, 50 Cent possibly burned down his baby's mom's house. Not a good guy.
Not a good guy. But Drake is also possibly a pedophile. So, like, I mean,
nobody here is winning.
Nobody here's that.
St. Peter is judging everybody harshly.
Yeah, God, I mean, look, I'm not getting in either, but for my own issues. But it's just,
wow, this is a three-way.
Dizzy.
So I'm saying 50. It's up to y'all.
50 Cent made a music video that was like a PS2 grade video game where he's smoking all of his enemies, and I thought that was cool.
He also had a PS2 video. Was it PS3?
One of those.
It wasn't PS.
I gotta go with Drake. That was my card.
Yeah, but Mike's the judge.
No, not the judge.
Not the
Everybody
judge.
here is the judge.
Yeah,
I just made the card and facilitated this conversation.
Okay.
So then it's up to you, then, Rich.
I mean, I'm gonna go for 50.
Dang, 50 won the book then.
There
for
it
now.
is.
Does that mean I won?
Yeah,
Oh, you threw that up?
because
Yeah.
you said 50.
Oh, I did throw
I
out
said,
Kanye. Yeah.
yep.
Oh, see, that's crazy. You can that's just like voting for myself. That feels weird. I don't know. I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's
I'm
us-
sorry.
It's us
You
three.
can't help.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
the best card out.
But that's biased, though. Why should my vote? Because you voted for 52, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel
Yeah,
less mad. I'm
I was about to say, if you got the best card out, you got the best
All
card
right.
out.
Don't feel bad about that. It's a game.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one book each.
Yeah, we are. Well, in a dead tie right now.
Maybe whatever you throw out will be the right record.
Possibly.
You like West Side Story a lot.
Oh, my crew, man. My boy Malik and Visa, man. They watch this. They love West Side. I like Griselda tracks too.
Yeah.
So,
they really
you know-
brought the 90s sound of New York back
They did.
and evolved it.
They did.
So I will never take that away from that group. And they did it all, I believe they did it all independently. As far as like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then rose up to the point where they could sign deals. Yeah, Zelda was undeniable from the start. This is my gun. I feel like now is a good time to play this card.
Oh, let's go.
For all those that don't know, Allen Iverson rapped for at least one album under the name Jules. You can have a conversation about the best basketball player rapper in Wyatt Shaq.
Wyatt. Yeah.
Definitely Shaq.
Well, isn't what's his name? Amaj Comfort from
Oh,
Oak Park.
yeah.
He was rapping.
There's another one who apparently is pretty good. I'm not.
Dame Lillard.
I don't think it's Dame Lillard.
He was rapping though. Baron Davis is going as Bart Oatmeal. That's his new name.
Bart Oatmeal.
Is he good? Your name is Bart Oatmeal. You need to perform on a high level.
Yeah, you can't come out and do a dry name like that and then not have no bars.
Baron Davis sounds like a fun dude. And all I'm gonna say is I would love to get a couple of days to sit and talk with him and talk about the philosophy of the records he's making. Because I think he could actually make something really good. What I was hearing is just like, oh, like I don't know. I'm not trying to denigrate, man. I'm excited he's excited, and I'm not trying to be a jaded asshole, but also for like what I personally need in listening to it. Yeah. But not to say he couldn't do something for me.
Yeah, I like it when the athletes, like, you know, when they dabble in their creativity, as long as they really, you know, respect the art a little bit and really try to, don't just like kind of make a sham out of it. I mean, what was Shaquille's rap name when did he go by?
Shaq.
It was just Shaq, right?
Shaq Diesel.
Shaq Diesel.
Yeah.
But when he did it, again, it was a lot of chatter. But he actually, I think RZA made a track for him or something.
He did.
It was not the best. But you could tell that he respected hip hop.
For sure. And he got arguably Biggie's best verse ever.
Oh,
arguably.
Favorite failed athlete, musician, or aspiring music mogul, running back for the Bears, James Allen. That was his big pivot when he retired. He was going to start a record label, and then we never heard about it.
No,
nah.
Yeah, I haven't.
I was a big James Allen fan when they made the playoffs that year.
Let me go ahead and take this book off y'all hands.
Yeah, that's potent.
All right, so
you know how I try to throw the card down where it spins in a circle. Oh, okay.
So we have
Redman's a lot of fun.
West Side Gun, Jules, aka Allen Iverson, and Redman. And it's not many that are better than Redman. Redman said, so I was a teacher for 2.5 years. And this is when Soulja Boy and all these folks are starting to come out. And not to, rap isn't even really rated on lyrics like it used to be. But I said to one of my students once, I was like, that is great. I'm glad you all got vibes. One of my favorite rappers said, I forward, high punch, and spit flame like Liu Kang burning your membrane when the wind changed. Have you ever played Mortal Kombat? And they were like, yes. And I was like, see, hell of a bar. What did your favorite rapper say?
Mm-hmm. I think the lyricism appreciation is slowly coming back. But you're right, Hal. But this guy, I don't think we have to argue with me too much.
Yeah, I'd give it to him because more than anything, I appreciate levity, which is not necessarily what you're gonna get in a Griselda album in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. Like in some ways, it's like if I overdo it, it's like giving myself a migraine. And I don't mean that to be shitty. It's just true. I just can't be mentally in the trenches for that long. I need to come up for air. Whereas like Redman will be like, we'll hit you with a 2x4 and we just smoked an ounce. And I'm like, I like that second part.
Right. For sure. I once described that. I was talking to Steve about an Obi Flames album. It was one of his albums with Alchemist, and I was like, yeah, that's great, but like, my God, just dark for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want to. And this is a lot of personal growth.
Is it the prank in China? With Alchemist?
Was that the only one they did together?
I feel like maybe they've done a couple.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't remember the name of it because again, so much media.
That's kind of the fun part, though. Like I relish having access to a streaming service for the simple fact that, as a luxury, I choose to exercise my use of it heavily. I listen to albums every day. I'm like, fuck AI. I am AI. No pun intended for the car. I'm just trying to digest as much music and understand it and get to know it. And I have a rule. This is also how I'm like trying to preserve attention span. Is I try to listen to albums all the way through. And I very rarely playlist. I very rarely listen to like mixes unless it's like certain folks. Like I just downloaded NTS, that radio app, because one of the homies had a mix on one of those shows. It was a bunch of unreleased shit. It's like, well, I have to check this out. Now that was cool. It's almost like seeing a DJ set at that point, which I don't mind. But when it comes to me making the choice, I don't need to do burnt CD style listening unless the only caveat. Sometimes if I really don't know what to do, like once in a blue moon, a little shuffle action is kind of fun, either in my own library or like I'll be listening to something I never heard before and maybe I didn't dig it, but like 3 songs into what the algorithm's throwing me, I am into it. In fact, the only time that I will let something actually ride, say for like an hour, is YouTube of all that, because I'll be looking for like, I feel like that's where you get the weirder shit. That's where you get the stuff that maybe isn't going to be on like a Spotify or like an Apple Music or whatever. Like I'll find rarer things that like I'll try to save and then run back through my Apple, and then it's like, oh wait, they've got one song by this guy, so somebody uploaded the good stuff, and that's where it lives.
My bar before streaming services was whoever got King Just first. I don't know if you all remember King Just. He was a Staten Island rapper, loosely Wu-Tang affiliated.
Yeah, I remember the name.
And he had a song called No Flows on the Rodeo. And I was like, until this is on Spotify, I'm not listening to Spotify. And then they put it on and I said,
Yeah, it's like that. Dude, is R.A. the Rugged Man one of your cards?
nope.
Put it in the book.
I think it might be.
Add it to the book.
Add it to the book. All right. Are you quoting Dark Crystal?
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal, the stop motion Jim Henson shit.
It was puppets.
Puppets. Sorry.
And then they did a sequel on
They did a Netflix show
Yeah.
I did not watch. I did meet a dude that I guess composed some stuff for that though. That was cool.
Shout out to the Dark Crystal. All the girlfriends look like Michael Jackson.
I have things I could say that I'll say later.
Rich, you're
No, I lost.
Yeah, it's hang on.
Mike.
Yeah.
Isaiah,
Oh.
top tier producer here.
So
Mr. Pharrell.
I have to admit, when it comes to Pharrell's beats, there are ones that I like. I've never liked his overall. I feel like him and Swiss Beats got popular after Biggie and Pac died. Nobody really knew what to do. What's the name of the synth?
I'm happy.
The ding, the ding, the ding,
Oh, that
the
don't.
ding. They used it in
The banjo kind of like
every single song was this. And, you know, not to take anything away from Pharrell, he's done great things. He made a movie where he's a Lego. He is probably the reason why Nori had a solo career. But for better or for worse, depending on what you're into. I've always liked him. Well, I liked him until he started taking control.
Did he really?
Mm,
Oh man.
him and Math.
I mean, Pharrell Williams is also a Zionist, or at least has done a lot of pro-Israel shit. So there is no winning.
Right. Yeah, when it comes,
Like, I guess in the spirit of that, I'm gonna throw this as another Trump supporter, the Benny the Butcher.
oh.
I just feel like Benny doesn't know. Well, most Trump supporters.
No,
don't know.
like his logic is essentially like you got to have a bad guy. That's just the world, and it is a realistic thing. I mean,
Sure.
Sketch 185, man. Like, you know, we've had a lot of conversations, and one of the biggest ones is the bad guy wins, and America is the baddest guy. And you know,
Been the baddest.
being a
But it's slowly being taken over by a smaller, perhaps worse guy.
well, funny you should say that.
Mhm.
I personally feel like the lack of a human element in terms of how any of these people think can only be to their detriment. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to see who the real baddest guys are.
That's a
But
good point.
I don't think they're going to make it. That's just my 2 cents. I'm hopeful, weirdly. No, I mean,
a
look,
lot of people.
at the end of the
saying-
day, yeah. Anyways, man, yeah, it's a trash take. He made some good.
I mean, you know, I do like Benny. I do like Pharrell. I do not agree with their politics. But then there's this guy. Seems like a pretty nice guy.
He did love his wife.
Chance. Oh, snap. Yeah, then he's through a separation.
Hey, man,
I can relate. I understand.
new album coming.
Hey,
It's
And
the
again.
Black Star Line. We'll see what happens.
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Because Pharrell, I was gonna say easily has a lot more. Even though
He's
we
bigger.
might all, yeah.
he's bigger than most artists.
Chance, man. That's
Chance
that's
made
a good battle.
Chance widen the lane.
He did.
Listen, I'm not gonna rap about being.
No, not.
sold some acid. I'll tell you about that.
I mean, the live show game that he brought to the table when he would just do his shows and it'd be like a band behind him and him like kind of flipping it.
I think you gotta give it to him. Yeah, I think so.
Better than Benny. Benny can spit.
Yeah, but I mean, was he gonna rap over his vocals? It's a decent chance. Or if not, look. When it comes to the live show experience, I personally do not have a deep love for the 100 dudes in fitteds smelling like 10-year-old swishers in a room and it just
With their
everyone
big chains
and
tight
it's
t-shirts.
yeah and just the mean muggery. It's just I'm over it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I prefer a friendlier atmosphere for like my patronage.
But
and
then what about Pharrell? He seems like,
yeah, you know, but
I feel like Pharrell thinks a lot of himself.
But does he do live shows though? That's what I'm saying. Like,
well,
you don't really.
Yeah, we're talking about
He might
a
go
platinum star producer versus like a platinum performing artist.
When Chance is on, he's the best performer of the three, and it's.
No, I think Chance is.
I think Mike wins here.
Yeah,
I will think
that's a clear win.
Yeah,
got to go to hometown.
Yeah.
What's the story so far? I got 2 books.
I got 2. It's me and you.
I got 2 books.
You got 2 books too?
No, I just was singing Kevin Gates. Instead of
I got
phones,
2 books.
One with the Prodigy, one with the Drake.
Yeah, right. Oh snap! It's getting kind of.
Speaking of
okay. I am ready. I am ready for this.
Chief Keef.
Damn.
I don't think I know much Chief Keef music at all.
Oh man,
anybody that knows me would not be terribly surprised.
No, well, here's one. I mean, the Don't Like when that blew up. I mean, yeah, Kanye jumped on it. Yeah, like I mean, that was.
I like the beat.
I think his music reminds me of the first time I heard Earl, and I just realized that I was like actually a little scared, just because like it was like you could feel that there was some like definitely some wicked energies in the mix. It's not to say it's not good, but it's also in those moments where if it freaks you out a little bit, it's kind of indicative of it's probably going to be massive. Like XXXTentacion, man. I remember when Look at Me hit, before I knew about any of the backstory there, I was like, damn, that shit is hard. And then I found out that shit, I'm like,
menace to society.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. Somebody picks that up somewhere, and or is that's how they're dealt with, and all of a sudden, they're just repeating old hurts, and not to excuse any of that shit, because he did some crazy shit. But yeah, either way, Chief Keef, Chicago. See, talk about someone who seems like they've been given some time to kind of level out a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they were able to come back to Chicago finally. It's a fucking shame that he essentially was exiled. I mean, I was there at Pitchfork the year that he came out during the A-Rap music set.
What's that story?
Pitchfork paid him $20,000 to come out and do 2 songs, so he did Don't Like, and I think that other joint. That was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great payday. Yeah,
sounds like $10,000 a song.
20.
Well,
I think it was 20. Yeah. That's like when I play corporate events and like everyone's just hanging out by the shrimp or something, and I'm just like, I just made $1,000, and just not throwing a random insert number, 500, whatever, and like, and I have to be up here for 45 minutes. So I'm making X amount a minute, and then from there, other strategies to feel good about being ignored while on stage, either due to audiences not caring or to no one being there. Like, if you have, I hope everyone gets to experience this at least once. I once played a show in San Antonio to 2 people, and it was one of my favorite shows ever because there was a subwoofer under the stage, and I gave myself a foot massage with my voice. It was awesome.
That's great.
It was a great day. I was just like, we are gonna make exactly $17. I have someone out fetching me some Texas Reggie that I'm gonna smoke in the parking lot tomorrow when I high hemp. And bottom line, man, Chief Keef, Chicago legend.
Yeah, definitely a legend. I understand what you mean too about, like the gravity of like maybe the darkness of somebody's album. Thinking about XXXTentacion or the drill stuff. I actually like riding and working out to some of the drill stuff. I like it, but then sometimes for a whole album, and maybe because I go by Mike Messia, I do a lot of conscious stuff. I talk about dark and uplifting lyrics, I feel like, but I can't take it for too long. And then it's like dragging my whole soul down into it. And I mean, it's so crazy because music really, really corresponds with your actual well-being.
I just think about when I went out to California. I forget how many years ago this was, but I remember one of the things that I loved about my first trips out there is I'd either be in someone else's car or I'd rent a car, and I just listened to the radio because I'll never forget someone said to me, in LA, the radio has to be good because people are sitting in traffic all day. So if they don't have good music to listen to on the radio, they're going to kill each other. So I thought that was kind of a funny joke. But then, it was generally a pretty fun time driving around listening to stuff that people were playing. And like that was both like the like kind of the more mainstream stations. And then I think it's Loyola Marymount or whatever the college radio station is. Actually, they were playing some wild stuff. I remember tweeting at them because it was like 5 years ago. I was like, crushing it. It was but I'll never forget though. I was going out there in the wintertime. It was like a way to get away from here and like thaw out a little bit. And I remember coming home and it was like day 2 of being back, and I was in Wicker Park and just driving around listening to Power 92. That's all they were playing, and I just remember it was like the cloak had fallen, and or like I don't know, there was just like a cloud that all of a sudden was like tailing my car and me, and all of a sudden when I'm standing on the corner looking around, I just feel very ready and like looking around. It's like an on swivel sort of thing, and like and that's something people commented on in the past when I've been other places. Like I remember like one of my earliest tours, me and my guy Crush Level in New Orleans, and people were like, people were like, yo, you guys he's in LA, man. They make great music out there. And his lady makes great beats too. But no, it's just to say like they were just saying this, y'all look ready. Like you look like you're scanning the room at all times, and I'm just like a nice fucking guy. But even so, it's like I don't know. There's something about just the experiences you have here that like force you to at least have a certain level of on guard at most times, unless you can really be, again, if you can be in a situation where you have a high level of control of your surroundings and personnel, then you can potentially have a more relaxed experience.
right. I think it's natural that we all Chicagoans got our head on a swivel, but it's just a different upper tier of that when it comes to that particular genre. I'm gonna go ahead and just take over this whole hand here. I'm talking about West Coast.
Interesting.
Kendrick Lamar.
I have never been more ready for a hand of whatever this nameless card game is. I am so thoroughly ready to get to the other side of whatever we're gonna say about this. That is crazy that you did get both of them.
Right. I did. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna win.
It's good. Well, we'll see. I feel like I've got potentially the royal flush that flushes your dreams. We'll see.
If you're
and I'm not referring, and I'm not referring to Royal Flush, the producer rapper. No.
Shout out to Royal.
Is he in with that?
No, he's on the list.
He's on the list. Okay, so what is there to say that hasn't been said? The guy's made conceptual shit. He's made shit that knocks. He has a great live show, fantastic stage presence. He started a amorphous label and whatever PG Lang is. Baby Keem, honestly, not a Baby Keem fan, but that's okay. Being someone's cousin's really tight, and I look forward to putting on my little cousins in whatever capacity I can if they show any musical aptitude. Let me tell you that. Rich, help me. It won't be bitch set on my face. It'll be like, just Rich, help me. Be like, yeah, we'll do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
What you got?
Oh, Tupac.
So
there is no him without him.
That is true. There's not a lot of people without Tupac.
And also the controversy, the clouds, the acting.
Let me throw this out here.
You think it's overblown?
I do. Well, I do like. I mean, it's like being Prodigy was also he danced and whatever, but he's still Prodigy.
And I won't take anything away from him as an actor. I think he played parts that he was given. Baby Boy would have been better if he lived, because that part was written for him. That last movie with John Belushi, I don't remember the name of it. Locked Up.
There's no way you're talking John Belushi died in the 80s.
Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. They might as well have just made a Blues Brothers movie.
Yeah, it was not the best. Great rapper, trend-setting rapper. I talked to somebody a few weeks ago about finding out that he got a giant tattoo on his stomach back when that was crazy. But is Kendrick better than Tupac?
So here's my assessment right now.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely gotta say that Kendrick has. Again, this is unfortunate because Tupac passed. Before he was able to really. And same thing with Biggie. I mean, they were.
He was signed to death row. I want to say for less than a year.
Was it less than a year?
Yeah.
What that label was before
Like
after
7 months.
death row?
After Tupac was on.
Yeah. What label was that?
Priority. Let me.
Sorry. So, and then I gotta go ahead and just throw in the past year or two that Kendrick has had.
Tupac slept with Madonna. You can't get bigger than that time period, man. Didn't work. He also was dating one of Quincy Jones' daughters. Yeah, I remember those stories. Yeah, that was like. Do you remember the website hiphopgame.com?
Not.
It was like
all hiphop.com.
So hiphopgame.com, I loved it in high school because they had hyperlinks to all the new singles and the mixtapes. So I could listen to music.
It was Interscope. I will say who you slept with doesn't really add to your.
It's a mistake more than especially. I just mean in terms of the scope of like how famous.
Oh no, I get it. I totally get it. It's just especially nowadays in the Diddy's of the world, nobody really gives any validity to your overall art catalog anymore based off of who you banged.
That is very true.
Sorry, not to be.
No. I'm not trying to be lewd either. I just mean it's more like the echelon of people that he was running with.
And Madonna, I mean,
which should be fair.
You can see why she probably wanted to,
handsome man. Well, I mean, look, if we're, you know what? Here,
actually, how old is her boyfriend? Doesn't she have like
12? No, it's here. So I'm actually gonna throw a wrench in my plan of global domination through Tupac card casting.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar at Pitchfork, like when we played the Tinier Blue stage, who was side stage for him? We're talking about creative parallels of like reach for like everyone's era. Okay. Who was side stage for him? But Lady Gaga was kind of like a Madonna-esque pop figure. So not to denigrate my own case for why Tupac should be the winner, but I can note. I mean, very similar career arc. You got, and he's already at that. Think about that era of Gaga, where it's like, she's just.
I love Lady Gaga stuff. Yeah. That's a good point. But yeah, and that's crazy. I mean, if Pop was still here, first of all, either one of them, I mean, they'd still, they'd be obviously in the Jay-Z's and all that other world right now.
Or their music would have gone off a cliff, and we really wouldn't be talking about.
That's true. They could.
Rock said maybe Tupac would be in Tyler Perry.
That's true. So I'm gonna make a really left field example of like sometimes why leaving early is maybe not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, it's heartbreaking, and I'm not saying that this is exactly what should happen. However, a great example. Do we know of the cult leader Jim Jones? Not the rapper Jim Jones, the cult leader Jim Jones.
Yes,
right. If that man dies in the 60s, before he moves to San Francisco from Indianapolis, and then before he goes down to Central America and has all his people commit mass suicide by drinking Kool-Aid, if he dies in the mid-60s, he would go down as like a pretty consequential Midwest civil rights figure because he single-handedly desegregated the Indianapolis bus system. Think about that. Dude was doing some good stuff. And then the ego, hubris, and opportunity all of a sudden causes everyone to commit mass murder drinking Kool-Aid. So, not saying that any of these people would do that. However, there is something to be said for not being allowed to fall off or like go fucking crazy.
Because Charles Manson would have been in an okay country.
Yeah. If only the Beach Boys had let him do his thing. Take that, Dennis.
Dang.
Yeah, no. Anyways, I think I should win.
Well, of course. I think I should win. So
that leaves Mike as the tiebreaker. Does Mike think he should win?
No, I'm not.
See, I feel like we gotta have like
the Chicago drill heads be like the Chicago drill heads. Like, how is this even a debate?
Yeah, how is this a debate? Fuck all of
That's
you.
why this show.
You're not really tapped in.
You're not tapped in. We're gonna circle the block on you.
Tupac might have been a drill rapper if he was still alive.
Let me guess, the white guy loves A$AP Rock. Doesn't listen to Chief Keef. He's listening to verbose ass.
Hey, no, Chief.
I like A$AP.
Hey, it's a Yes Sir song. The Chief, I forget which album it's on. I love my cousins. We can play that. Look, Chief got some records, but out of this deck right here, I think it's pretty.
I feel like it would. All right, so if I'm the deciding vote, I feel like it would be unfair to give it to Kendrick because Kendrick one fights Tupac. He sampled a Tupac interview on his first album. Yeah. He has a Tupac style song, like for when it came on, Reincarnated.
Oh, Reincarnated is cold.
Fantastic.
I like
gives me chills. Yeah, I got to give it to Tupac.
Yes, you won.
One more card.
Better. Oh, this is a good.
This is it.
This is for okay.
Snap.
So I actually feel uniquely poised.
Like, you almost can't wait to put the card out. Look, it's like jumping out of your head. Like, are you serious?
Because I think I'm not particularly a big fan, but I think this will lead to some interesting discourse.
Okay. The whole show.
Biggest boss is thus far.
Oh.
Ricky
Also, great John Legend feature. Swimming and women, champagne sipping.
Hey,
so I would lose a point.
I like Ricky, but when he tried to jump, I'll just say this. This is my 2 cents. When he tried to jump in the battle, okay, last year when it was really bubbling up between them, I was just like, it's almost like jumping in just for the clicks and the likes, almost.
That's what it was.
Without even having like the bars. And look, I ain't trying to run into Ross backstage and have no issues and like that because I know the man can rap. Okay, but it's the bars he came with for that battle. A lot of MCs and barbershops would call him meta guy, which is like, come on, Pretty Ricky, you got to sit this one on out. You don't have to do this. But overall catalog, I definitely hot.
Restaurateur.
I would not
tree cutter downer.
That's my
one, but I did. I'm a fan.
Ooh, basic instructions before leaving
Earth.
Heavy Mental, a very abstract album. I liked it a lot.
I wish that him and Gravediggers would have done more material around that time. So I was always wondering, because remember how like Killer used to always be on some of their stuff, and then Gravediggers would. It was just like, how come they just?
He was an official member of Sons of Man.
Yeah, he was Sons of Man, but Gravediggers was
Sons of Man had a dope album, but Gravediggers had 2 great albums.
Yeah, they had 2 great albums.
It was dope.
All right, last card.
Boom! I got to go ahead and hit y'all on the head.
Oh wow!
Well taken.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm willing to go towards the light and leave the day rape raps in the past. Hey, I think Fife Dog just beat your ass and you didn't even know it.
Right.
So I just won, but I didn't know it. Yeah. And
Puerto Rican or Haitian.
And that man loved candy. He loved sugar. His devotion to sugar was legendary.
Funky diabetic.
Yeah.
Rhymefest once told me a story about how he offered Fife a cookie, and Fife just looked at him and was like, "Oh shit, my bad. No, I'll put this away. Later." I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Fife Dog. That's easy. Woo! Well, so.
Yes.
What a game.
This is a good game.
It's a good game.
Is there how many books you got?
2.
3.
1, 2. Winner.
Mike Messia.
Wow.
Yes. The
first official win of the game that has no name.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, what's up?
Speaking of no names, you got a no name card.
Yep.
Oh, a no name card. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Do y'all want to play another round? It is 8:43.
I'm willing to do let's do a 3 card.
Let's do a 3 card
bonus round.
Yeah.
This is the bonus content. You're listening to the game that has no name, hosted by Mike Stidham. Today's guest, Messia. Yeah, no, it's
at some point. I'm thinking of calling it the Iron Deck.
Oh, Iron Deck is hard.
Ooh, that's hard.
But also, it's hard in that way to like somebody.
Who gives a shit?
I don't want to.
Or here, I'm going to give you one that I'm positive nobody, and I mean nobody is used. Okay, you shouldn't be. I'm gonna give you a little hint. It's Wu-Tang, baby. Rule of the Iron Deck.
Five mic deck.
Rule of the Iron Deck.
What is source? You said that 5 mic.
5 decks in the source.
No,
but it's 7 cards. If it was
7
5,
cards.
if it was a 5 card game, then
it's supposed to be a 5 card.
Call it 5 mics.
Yeah. All right. So
thanks, guys.
Yeah, bonus round. By the next time we play, you got to have like the official.
Yeah.
The unveiling of the official name of this.
Yeah. I have an official name. I'm gonna have a binder with 600 cards in it out of the 900 at least that I'm gonna make, and it's going to be embossed in something crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big plan. Big plan. All right. Here's our final round.
All right.
We're
not. I thought we were doing 3 cards.
Are we doing 3 cards?
You got enough time for 3? Let's do 3.
Do you think we have time for 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get into a heated debate.
Oh, this is how we
do.
And we never leave. This is the Hotel California.
It's like 11:30 tonight. People are like, oh,
72 missed calls. Where the hell are you? All right.
Mike,
this is fun.
As the winner,
this is fun. Yeah. Yes, you do.
Oh man, I'm up to sports.
I don't know who the hell this is, man.
Actually, I don't know.
I know who.
Oh, this is. Did we just do a group?
This is the group one.
Oh man, let me go ahead and take y'all money real quick.
I can't tell if this is spelled correctly or if I'm just don't know who the fuck this is. I feel very embarrassed.
Oh man, I'm just gonna go ahead and just win a deck right away and just keep the winning ways going with it.
Oh, I am ready to argue. Let's go. Let's fucking go. No, this is actually this is. Oh wait.
The infamous mom.
I looked at the font. I thought it was Bone Thugs for 2 seconds. I rescind my my challenge.
The deepness in your voice got like really.
I was ready. No, because I almost have to play this fight now. No, but you'll see why in a second.
As a native of Cleveland, Ohio.
Bone Thugs.
And now we can be polite about the World Series, but but this next conversation will get very impolite. Do or die. That's why I'm that's why I was like, when I saw the font, I was like, wait a second.
If this is Bone Thugs versus Do or Die, that would be actual violence.
You know what's funny is I had the chairs.
Yeah.
And I love Heads or Tails. I did not realize how this was. And we would walk around singing that.
Wait, who was this about?
Do or Die. I don't remember the name of Bustin' Back.
I didn't even know that they had a beef.
We Bustin' Back. Yeah.
You know who I had no clue was being dissed in Insane in the Membrane, the Cyber Social shit. Apparently that was a Chubb Rock diss. Fat boy on a diet, don't try it. Like
I didn't know that went over my head.
Yeah, no, I found shout out the internet, man. Like I'm just casually on the day where the internet's good, you casually learn some sort of gem.
Every once in a while, you will learn something.
Oh gosh, I mean, and I feel like weight wise, Do or Die is actually looking, for the 90s, early aughts. We talk about real thickness. Talking about eating sweet steak sandwiches and shit. Let's go.
I clearly won.
I don't know though, because they're less. I feel like they're less well known than.
They're definitely less well known. I do like that. I am in the Brooklyn versus Queens rap conversation.
Who's all in that picture? You got Nori.
The infamous mod is Big Twin, and I don't remember the other two people.
Big Noise. No,
Noise not in there.
Oh, well, yeah, it's infamous mod. You got Twin. Look at who is it? Who produced them?
Twin Gambito, Ty Nitty, and Big Twin, Godfather Part 3 for their 4 people.
God.
So who was making their beats? Is that hat?
I believe it. I don't know.
This is clearly
people.
this is clearly do or die.
I mean, the Fat Boys were one of the first rap groups to have a movie.
That is true. That's a great point.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Fat Boy is a classic.
Mhm.
But do or die, they brought
like
that. They brought that ride on a Lakeshore Drive, pimping.
There's a really
they complimented Twista and
They brought
people.
Twisted to the game.
Well, folks are
in the game,
still
but I-
smoking weed to their music to this day.
Yeah, to this, they
this
got
day.
to this day.
To this day.
You could throw them on, like you'll mess around and hear them.
I might go
You
buy.
might go.
Just
You
out of
might
somebody's car on the street.
I might
Yeah.
go buy a peach white owl when we leave here, and go purposely go buy some Reggie
Yeah.
just to feel something.
Yeah.
Just you know what? Never mind. I already have the Reggie.
There you
I
go.
just remember. I've been saving it for this moment
I
to
know.
listen to Do or Die and smoke a peach white owl.
I know we're in Chicago, and of course, kind of like biased with that. I think they're a little bit more, not just relevant today, but Fat Boy is definitely
Yeah.
foundational.
Mhm.
Foundational.
It's tough,
That's tough.
and they had great dance routines
Who, Fat Boy?
from the movie.
Oh yeah, the movie when they would do that.
Disorderlies. They did too. I just remember.
Ooh, my vote, do or die. Like,
Yeah, do it.
All right.
nice. On you then.
All right. Wow.
That was actually a
So-
tough
so-
opening. That was a tough opening 3-card.
I'm gonna cede the lane here because I'm gonna come in the third round. Yeah, because there's no way I can win off this card because I literally do not know who this person is. It is a No Limit artist. True.
TRU,
TRU.
Master P, and C Murder.
Yeah. See, that's on. See, I'm embarrassed. Not a catalog I am at all aware about.
I mean,
I got a
what
lot of
was the
No
name of
Limit.
their album?
I feel like
I
I,
mean, it was
heard.
TRU.
I'm so sorry.
No, honestly, I don't remember this one either.
I
Yeah.
remember TRU.
Yo, get that
Those are
strike.
big
Throw their
hits.
music on right now. We need to vibe to this.
No, right. He can still lead down.
Risk it.
man.
Risk it.
Hey, yeah, right. But just tell us who was.
No,
So that was
Master
Master
P,
P.
C Murder.
C Murder. Okay,
Yeah. Who was
Free
in
T-
jail
Free T-
because he shot somebody.
Yeah. Man.
This album that I knew about was True to the Game.
Okay. See, I'm so embarrassed, man. I feel like, and again, I'm gonna go on Apple Music tomorrow, and I'm gonna have a No Limit party. I'm about to be on the road. I'm about to be touring. We're gonna have a No Limit day.
Do you know the song No Limit Soldier?
All right, fair.
Feds, if the Feds only knew.
No Limit Soldier was probably the top. That's probably the
Yeah.
top Billboard
Swamp
song.
Nigga.
Yes, a song title I can't say. I love that song.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, you could always.
Just say that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there who are like, oh yeah, I love Swamp Nigga. And then you do like that.
Hands,
Hands.
and it'd be worth it. Yeah. Somebody need to get their ass beat.
Freak Hoes also.
Okay, so this might be a sleeper pick. I may have misjudged this.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
For all the kids at home, True to the Game.
True to the
Go
game.
check it out.
All right, let's see what you got, Mike. Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brought out Shaq. Fife Dog had something to do with the
Yeah, I remember Pooch Niggas.
Pooch
Yeah, that's
Niggas
actually a
were-
good.
They get hated
That's-
on by a lot of New York rap podcasters, and I don't understand.
This is such a funny picture though, because this dude's on the far right on this card. I thought he had aluminum foil on his head, like in the new press photo. Like
People gotta keep
like-
the aliens out.
he's a conspiracy minded
Tin
fellow.
foil hat.
Not-
chip food.
Where
Shout out
did you
Chip
get
Food.
these pictures from the sidebar? I don't want to take up too much of our time, but this is so cool how you got these
Yeah,
pictures.
these are beautiful
These are
cards.
like great. I almost barely want to put like touch like they're just like so nice. Where'd you pick these pictures from? Like, did you just pick the top
It's the
album cover?
internet.
Yeah,
And
it's
I put them
internet.
together.
Nice.
Some of them come from album covers, and then I got a picture of the group or the rapper. Some of them I just threw together.
Well,
It was all in the moment.
I'm gonna make this an interesting debate and throw in one of the very first top female hip hop
JJ
group.
Fad.
when they put out Supersonic.
I mean,
Supersonic.
I mean, I think that's the winner. I'm
Supersonic.
because they made a song. They made a song popular enough that somebody else made another song, Fergalicious.
Yep.
So yeah, you win. I'm just gonna just say you win.
No, I gotta.
I don't know, man. The Fushnikins brought Shaq out. Shaq first started rapping in Fushnikins videos, at least when I saw him. Also, TRU
Supersonic.
Platinum several times. No,
I'm sorry. Supersonic, classic, female hip hop.
it is a damn thing.
And I mean, that's one that you might
Supersonic.
you might also still hear a DJ slam this if you at the right party.
Yo, man, bar mitzvah, wedding, Peloton workout class. You know what though? Don't be surprised if Peloton does No Limit Soldiers at some point. And I only say that because my lady's mom, she does the Peloton bike, and it's interesting to hear, like, you know, they have themed rides, right? And sometimes it's just like, it's an aggressive playlist today, and I swear to God, this is one of the least expected things that I would never have on a bingo card. I'm in the kitchen, which is next to the room where she does the bike rides and shit, or like the arm workouts. Sometimes I'll do the arm workouts because they're fun. But anyways, I digress. And I'm listening, and I'm like, wait a second. Are they fucking playing Eye Against Eye by Most Def from the Blade 2 soundtrack? In my lady's mom's kitchen? What? Yo, Blade, first off, all the Blade soundtracks, God tier. Blade movies in general, I did a thorough rewatch of the trilogy. I would say, without reservation, the third one is the worst and the best at the same time. Literally, because it is a time capsule. Ryan Reynolds is his own. I think he's a daywalker. Parker Posey is one of the vampires. Bled, we've been waiting for you. Triple H is a vampire. You have Pomeranian vampires. You have flip phones. Natasha Lyonne is a blind scientist who doesn't know if she made the serum correct. Sorry, Blade. We did not have enough time.
You're about to make me go home and watch that.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. No, enjoy. Like,
I will aggressively take this last hand.
Oh, let's go.
Just by representing the aggressive nature of the group in this card. Did I like raise my voice enough?
I am ready. I am ready.
I am ready to battle.
I am down, and then I'm gonna guess.
Put it down, and then you gonna guess?
Yeah. Is it Onyx?
Ooh, close.
Oh, G.
Onyx actually would. That was a good guess.
That was the first time I heard.
Strong play. I don't feel like it's hopeless for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
You don't feel like who?
I don't feel like it's hopeless for me.
No.
Also, G Unit is an interesting thing because, like, Tony Yayo of all people is trying to get them to sign like fucking Danny Brown and like a bunch of like.
Now I'll tell you what happened. When they got after that first album, when they got lazier after the Young Buck, and Yayo and Lord, like, well, first of all, 50 even said it. They should have stayed in the studio more. Right,
they were
hungry.
Just depending on him.
Yep,
yeah.
And he is.
I mean,
Lloyd Banks was
but the buzz was so aggressive around 50 at that time that whole first album, everything was still wanging.
A few of my favorite groups of all time were on that album.
And
I think a Chicago producer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And Mobb Deep joined Prodigy, and Havoc ended up joining G Unit.
Yep. So did MOP. They just never put out stuff.
We got a paper towel. Spill some water.
So that one to me,
I'll make it work.
That to me, you know, but I got to see what y'all got.
I know you don't love me. Easily one of the best.
All right, I'm ready. Migos.
Okay.
I give them the W because they went after Academics, and that was awesome. Because fuck Academics. What a roach.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that guy word.
I don't even know how they had it. Anyways,
I got Brand Nubian.
Ooh.
Now, Brand Nubian was dope. Lord Jamar nowadays, every time somebody sends me a clip of Lord Jamar saying something, I just turn it off. I don't want to hear it.
What's Lord Jamar's opinion on the new Popeye's chicken sandwich? That's what I want to know. I want to know what he's thinking about the pickles glazed Popeye's chicken. I'm sure it's a wrong opinion.
I'm sure. Just things go.
Him
and Vlad aren't talking.
They put something in that sandwich, by the way.
I'll never eat it.
Yeah, I've
It's
tried.
horrifying.
I mean, same thing with Chick-fil-A. I have it every once in a while, but the ingredients in it are. It shouldn't take that many ingredients to make a sandwich.
Let's just,
anyways,
yeah. And when it comes to indulgences, it's one of the few I allow myself. I will say though, the one time I pulled out of a Popeyes drive-thru because someone had put a "We Buy Diabetic Test Strips" sticker on one of the cement posts by the drive-thru, and I was like, I'm gonna have sugar for the plate. Like, and I just told I was like, I have to go buy some carrot sticks and do better right now.
That's why they put it up there. It was like, do you really want this?
Like this was literally a campaign by PETA, a guerrilla marketing campaign courtesy of PETA. You like your feet? Like, nice toes.
See that left leg?
Yeah.
You want to keep it?
Ooh. Are you not in the state of Louisiana? I just mean, Popeyes is an interesting topic though, just because I was there yesterday and I saw something I'd never seen before. Okay. And I, every and I'm one of the memes was like,
salad.
Would you kiss me on the drive-through balcony at the Popeyes? It's like that meme or whatever. And like my updated version of that is, that's the tired one. The wired thing is, serve me a 7 of like the strongest gas you got by the Popeye spice rack, because they got a bunch of jars. I'm sitting there just like, how long have these like herbs and spices been? Like, did they update? Did they rotate? Am I gonna see like larva at some point in the red beans? Like
somewhere.
At some point, yeah, it's only so much salt you can take, I guess.
Yeah.
And like the fact they give that Cajun spark. First of all, they name a season sparkly, whatever, which is really like Cajun. It's Cajun flavored salt.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Okay, so I digress. I'm gonna vote Migos because they were one of the first most vocal people to go after academics. I think it's insane how much I feel like they actually changed the trend of music in terms of like what we experienced, especially today. I think like what it was 10 years ago when they first came out. Yeah, I don't know. Like, are people making records like G-Unit like that anymore? Brand Nubian, like I don't know. Like on some longevity shit, I feel like Migos at this moment we're still living in that in the twilight of that breath. That's been a decade. Whereas, like, I mean, Griselda is maybe kind of an heir to a G-Unit, but I think they're, for me personally, I think Griselda's making stronger records than G-Unit. I like that style.
I have to agree that they have taken, I wouldn't say they pulled ahead of New York. Yeah, they haven't pulled ahead. I think they pulled right up alongside. If they was like drag racing in the street right now, they'd be at the same stoplight, and they caught up, and then they're on the verge of surpassing G-Unit.
G-Unit might win because 50 Cent poured some vitamin water in their gas tank. Yeah. Also, of all the rappers, in that situation, he's the only one that like is confirmed like an HGH user. So I mean, like, I'm not trying to get punched by that. I'm just saying, like, Gun, very fit person. I don't think he's on HGH. I'm just saying, like, there's a lack of bloat in the mix.
I actually like Lil Jamal and Brand Nubian style, and I definitely I like G-Unit a lot. I actually take a lot of my flow is in that Griselda, that whole lane, that mob beat. But I do have to say Migos is definitely right there too. This is a tough one.
It's tough.
And I want to say G-Unit is one because it's my card, right? But there's a good point about Migos. We are in Twilight. They did change the game. Even though I didn't like the mumble, because that's when a lot of cats who were like against like the YNs or his style or drill, they were like attacking Migos. So it was always like the Migos.
Lazy Bone.
Who?
Lazy Bone.
Oh, okay.
No Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Sounds like a lazy take.
Yeah, it was a little strange.
Yeah.
When I read it, I was like, oh man, I'm about to listen to this. Here we go. And I listened to him, was like, oh boy, you probably didn't have to do this.
Yeah, and I think that
Stayed
now,
on the studio floor.
yeah, we're in a space now where it's not like the youngsters versus the old heads anymore, but around that time, like years ago, I think
It definitely
Migos was the dividing. There was a split in hip hop, and these were guys why, and you can understand when you listen to that delivery when you're used to like 50 Cent and Brett style, and now we're in a different space. You know, so I do got to say, there's still a tie between G Unit and Migos to me.
I'm gonna say G Unit, just because when it comes down to what I would rather listen to, I would rather listen to G.
That's where
I'm at.
Very curious though, because I'm willing to do a deep dive in the coming weeks, and we can have a follow-up conversation.
Yeah.
For me, the weirdest thing that I'm finding in having the ability to go back and listen to music that I maybe didn't have access to 20 years ago, specifically because I didn't have the money to afford a major label album. So like, you understand, like my purchasing was dictated on, can I get 2 or 3 CDs for a dub, right? And often Kanye or Twista or G Unit, that's going to be at least $17 to $25, if not more.
I would do same.
And so like, so for me, it's like going and I think I finally actually did get a copy of G Unit in college, and I was listening to it, and like it was cool. I think going the only thing, and this is a personal thing too, I'm really amazed at how bad so much of the production, not just exclusive to them, but just from that era, has aged. Like the production choices of like what people were going for. Like an example that I'm loath to really go too heavy in the paint on. I remember there was a Boot Camp Click album that I had like wanted to check out, and I finally got I bought it for like $3 in a bargain bin like 5 years ago, and it was so bad.
Which one?
I forget.
Like the whole of the Boot Camp Click.
I think it was all of them. I mean, that's the
thing. By the time they started
it's
making
not
albums
even
together, their production was.
And it's not even about the rapping. It's just like the beat. It was just like, it's like, and here's a J period beat, and then here's a so and so beat, and then here's another. And it felt very paint by numbers and very expected and prescribed in certain ways, and that didn't match with me. And also, like, a big issue that I think artists deal with, especially as you get bigger or older, is your ear goes. You're feeling the strain of having to appeal to your fan base for another time, and like both have something that's evolved but also harkens back to why people cared in the first place. And I think that leads to a lot of very I think flawed expression in terms of the production choices. Whereas whereas like there's very few people like I say this as someone who, like, part of why I say it is, like, if I go to my catalog, in a lot of ways, especially as a younger artist, like, you hear exciting kind of sounds like drill or like, different production things that are maybe like kind of in a different lane, and you want to experiment with that. And as an older artist, like, I would never make those choices now. I made records that it was like, well, I want to see what this feels like, but it's not like, now I wouldn't release anything in that vein. And I feel like kind of at this juncture, there's just, I don't know, man. The ear is one of the first things to go for older artists. Like, there's very few artists. Like, I think Billy Woods from Arm & Hammer, his selection of beats, Elucid selection of beats, these are dudes that are in their 40s and really or Ka, people like that, where I think you're getting, I think, a more mature ear where it's not just, okay, we're going to choose the hottest producers and get 15 to 20 records. No, in those instances too, in a best case scenario, you're getting a whole album by one producer, or or maybe it's a collection of producers, but it's been thought about in such a way where everything fits together really well, which is a tough thing to do. I think that's why a lot of people like to do the one producer method, because at least you have a higher chance for the sort of through thread or consistency of listen. So I don't know. I feel like beat-wise, Migos, and again, we're closer to that age, so who knows? In 10 years, I might feel differently about Migos, but I feel like their beats, I think, stand a stronger chance to age better in some ways than the G Unit stuff might. Specifically,
definitely. All right, so G Unit as a group. Ask somebody about me, I'm not gonna get old. I know you don't love me. I don't see that getting old. I want to get to know you. I don't see getting old. A lot of their singles, I think, are going to hold up. There's some milquetoast kind of beats here and there on the album.
Look, if 50 Cent and company were to literally just go down the route of like a Ski Mask Way type record, where it's if they had just lived in that universe all fucking day, I wouldn't even be saying any of the shit that I'm saying right now, because like that was just such a perfect beat choice. It's so cool. There was just so much present. It's timeless. It's fucking timeless in a way that I don't think some of the other shit is. It's like that's more time capsuled, which I mean, again, it's nice to go back and be nostalgic. I ain't mad at it, but
let me just piggyback off this conversation real quick. I know we probably gonna pick this up when we come back, but you make a very good point. Y'all gotta bear in mind around that time in hip hop, the production was, I agree, across the board, not lazier, but it was very simplistic. And Nas would get this critique a lot because Nas is not. Rap
Nas
over the most
beat
complex, and you had people like Jay-Z who probably was picking from the best of the producers at the time. But what happened in the game when you were getting when people were breaking away from the CD era, going to the streaming era, and G Unit was one of those groups that was struck while the iron is hot to go ahead and make a mixtape album of the best of the best producer, the best Mobb Deep beat, the best this beat, whoever, and they were churning out not the highest quality songs, but they was hitting you with those punches and having a mixtape, and they were hot mixtape albums. So that was a time. G Unit was in that time where people, I would always get mad and be like, man, this is not even really an official album because it wasn't a record label album. They would have a mixtape album that was hot in the streets at that time, and that was one thing that solidified. But it ended up playing in their favor for them being like an all-time kind of a favorite kind of a group because like that era still exists to this day. But around that time, they weren't having beats that tailored around their styles because they were just picking a plethora of beats.
And I'm not trying to say that like G Unit has the best beats in the world.
Kind of sounds like you're trying to say that G Unit has the best beats.
No, I would not say because I would say
shit that's like
I would say Migos beats to your point and will probably last out because you have. I like when artists take the time and make an album together. Like my beat selection, I pride myself on mixing with, which is how I met you to begin with. I have set producers that know my sound. I rap with, and just so I don't lose my ear as I get older, I try to work with DJ producers, meet different producers, so I can challenge myself as a writer to not just be in one lane every single time I pick a beat. But yeah. But it's a good argument.
If I was to choose a group that I would have loved to have seen perform with an orchestra, I would say the Migos. That would have been so much fun. Amigos Symphony would have been crazy. It's never gonna happen. Yeah. Unless we have AI Migos. I hope we don't.
Hope we don't.
Hope we don't. Can't wait till Timberland pulls up in the back. That's gonna be a fun, conversation.
Oh god!
I rarely comment on Instagram, but I typed in like, you could just put your music on there. You could just make music. You don't have to undercut the entirety of hip hop artists by investing in AI. It's a weird pivot. So I say G Unit. Rich says Migos. Mike says
G Unit is mine.
Yeah, hey.
There you go.
Bonus round.
Yeah, baby. Winner, chicken dinner.
He is risen. He is risen indeed.
Mike the Messiah.
The Boulder has moved. He got it.
But no, good one.
That's good.
Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you at home, whenever you see this, if you see this, for seeing this. Thanks, Steve, for making the beat with us.
It's very chill. I'm gonna need a whole album of this.
Right?
Yeah, the video for it is called Fields. Yeah, Fields So New. All one word. Fields with a Z. Shout out to Steve at Small Bar. I don't know what Steve is. I haven't talked to him. That's it. My name is Mike Stitter. I created the game. I have not named it yet. Rich Jones thinks I should call it Rule of the Iron Deck.
Rule of the Iron Deck.
Not a bad idea. I have a show called Blurred Dot Radio every Sunday, 7:30 to 9, 10:30, whenever we feel like it. Here on the Blur Dot Radio Twitch channel. Filmed in the Q4 studio. Shout out to Jared. Mike, shout out where people can find you.
You can find me on Bandcamp Fridays. Not just playing. I'm on Bandcamp anytime. I do have. Yep, I got a tote bag. I got a sweater. I got a t-shirt. This is a t-shirt actually right here. So that's like my main platform. A lot of indie artists will tell you to check that out because we get a better return than just streaming my, Spotify channel. I got a Spotify, iTunes, and I will have some physical product, hopefully for sale, and I'll be announcing that via my Bandcamp page.
Rich Jones.
Again, my name is Rich Jones. I'm from the northwest side of Chicago. If you would like to financially support my endeavors, be that going on tour or eating a dank sandwich, you can purchase my music at richjonesmusic.bandcamp.com. Should you choose to stream, I demand that you share your favorite song with 100 people in your phone and then tell them to do that and then tell the next person to do that. And if you don't do that, I'm going to be very disappointed. In terms of other social stuff, Rich Jones _music for Instagram, X/Twitter for as long as I'm there, Jones So Ruthless, and then Rich Jones _music on Blue Sky. And then honestly, man, my favorite place to be found is outside in the world. Bring me a great food tip, or if you have some good weed, or at least you think you have some good weed and don't mind if I'm a little harsh, or at least like am very honest in how I feel about it, we can smoke it and talk about it. Don't be shy. And most importantly, thank you to our gracious host, Mike, for having us come here and debate about something that has been a part of our lives for decades. And such a beautiful presentation. I'm very impressed.
I know,
I know this guy. I know this dude. He made this.
Look at these cards. These cards. They're laminated, everybody. You can't see, but next time we gotta show off the cards.
Sure. When I get the binder, I'm gonna make an intro.
Binder's full of cards.
Yeah.
And I'm Mike Messia with no H at the end, by the way, for folks who do. Yeah, just that when you find me online, it's MICMESSIA. It's my artist name because there's a couple Messiahs out there, literally.
And if you're looking for Rich Jones, I'm not the Christian comedian from the South who I found on MySpace 20 years ago.
You found
maybe it was like 10 years, whatever year that was. Maybe it was 20 years ago. Just shit. We're getting up there.
Nice.
I am not the old white guy that paints fish, Mike Stibbins. I am the guy who paints, sculpts, makes these fancy things.
Fancy. They are fancy, everybody.
And there's one of them.
So as the reigning champion, I come back. I get shuffle or how we.
For sure, I need to get a belt.
A belt, yeah, that'd be cool.
I thought about
I have an iron belt.
I have a collection of Source magazine. I thought about I accidentally bought 2 Busta Rhymes covers from 1997. I'd likely give that away one day.
That'd be cool.
I think of some prizes.
Some prizes would be cool.
Until then, love, peace, hair grease. Go read a book.
Peace.
Go listen to some music. Who have we talked about today that you think people should listen?
Supersonic.
I'm gonna say the Foo Schnickens. Go check them out. It's spelled Foo Schnickens. It'll pop up.
I mean, other than Supersonic, well, that's a song.
Can I see people's decks, man? I feel like we went all over the place.
No, we definitely did. They're all in.
That's true. I mean, I'm a big. Go ahead, check out that Infamous Mob. Only because, they were. Yeah. Infamous Mob.
We also have Redman.
We did have.
Oh yeah, we did have Redman. Actually, Redman. I would say him. Actually, check out Redman.
Yeah, I'd probably say check out Redman just because, at the end of the day, if you want to talk about, personal life philosophies or at least, genuine good advice, when I think about, one of my favorite things about myself is, I usually keep my head down, which means I can keep my eyes on the ground and find little gems and jewels and, other things when I'm moving through the world. Mm-hmm. And the song that I think best embodies that mentality and that helped me to really think about that as a thing is Redman's song pick. When you find $50 on the ground, what the fuck you gonna do? Pick it up. And I find more money than everyone else when I'm moving through the world. In a world that is increasingly cashless, my findings have dropped drastically. But I will say in that spirit, I'll never forget. I had a night where there were several people that were testing my piece. And really wanted to become physical, and that's not me, and I made it very clear that's not me.
Nice.
And I got them to leave me the fuck alone.
Nice.
And it was really crazy because at the end of the day, man, all this beef was over $100. And granted, I was pissed about it, but it, the degree that it went was way too much. And I'll never forget though. I the last dude came up to me and was really pushing me, and I was like, hey man, I really don't care what you think. And I'm just trying to enjoy myself. And if that's not where you're at, like I respect that, but I just need you to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like we do not have to do this. Like this is foolish.
Yeah.
And then I go inside, and what do I find on the ground but $100? Crazy. Like I literally looked. I'm like, so this is my reward for not fighting.
The universe,
Hashem. But really crazy though, because then years later, the dude came and apologized and was like, yeah, man, honestly, that was fucked up. I'm sorry, etc. And I was like, you know what, man? In a weird way, the debt got paid that day because I found what you owed me on the ground, and I've just considered that debt paid. We just had to figure this part out. Which, I mean, again, that's being very amenable, but it's funny how the universe works.
For sure. There's also a line in Pick It Up that is very 1996.
Does it involve dial-up modems?
I believe the line was, if you find a bitch passed out on the fucking ground, pick her up and help her. we're gonna change it to that. And with that, we'll see you next time.
Help the people.
Help the people. Help each other.
Don't creep the people. Help the people.
What's the Bill and Ted line? Be cool to each other. Be awesome to each other.